The bridge went into disuse. They do close it once a year and drive a vehicle across it, so they can consider it still an active bridge. Across Wolf Point, here technically on the right side of the river, we've got this building that looks kind of like a turning point for maybe somebody jabbed a pencil into the river frontier. This is 150 North Riverside, and the reason for its interstation, it's got that sort of Y shape or V shape down at the bottom, is because of the limitations of the land that it sits on. The back 2/3 of that lot have active underground Metra and Amtrak trains. And the front side is subject to a zoning law that requires a 30-foot setback for any building built along the Chicago River. This is to ensure that the riverfront remains open and accessible to the public. As a quick little shout out, you look out to our left, we can see a nice shot down the barrel of the main branch. If you're looking for photo opportunities, I don't want to like that one. So between the active train lines and the 30-foot setback, this building's designers, what they did was they worked with a structural engineering firm out of Seattle, Washington, to design a building which redirects the wind for both building and onto a strong central core. The result is this building's footprint is only 20% of the lot that it sits on. Now, whenever you're building tall buildings, one thing that needs to be accounted for is something called drift. This is the tendency for buildings to sway in high-speed winds and elevation, which, by the way, should be considered a feature rather than a bug, because things that do not bend tend to break. We don't want that happening with our high-rises. It is, though, something that can be minimized or mitigated. The way that 150 North Riverside accomplishes this is with something called inertial slosh dampers. So I have to say something here. Inertial slosh dampers. There are 12 on top of that building, 160,000 gallons of water. When the wind pushes the building one way, the water sloshes back the other way, which helps to dampen that inertial force and keeps the building from moving too much. We'll actually discuss a couple more methods over the course of the tour of how builders manage drift. We look up ahead on the left side of the river, we've got this reflective building here with these metal tripod legs out front. This is Bank of America Tower. And those metal tripod legs are this building's response to that 30-foot setback. By vaulting the third floor into the air, they're able to maintain public access to the riverfront. Bank of America Tower cost $800 million to build. That's a lot of money. And being that it was completed in 2020, they were able to incorporate a number of technologies that proved beneficial during the pandemic, including an app-controlled elevator, so you can call the elevator to your floor without having to interact with shared buttons, which is very neat, I'll grant you that, except I have heard that there are no shared buttons, so at which point of convenience becomes an annoyance. Don't require that I download the app, right? Is it just me? If it's a good app, we'll download it, you know? Now ahead beyond Washington Boulevard is an area of the river that me and the other ghosts would like to call Art Deco Canyon because of the massive Art Deco buildings on either side of the river. We will discuss the Civic Opera building out here on the left on our return trip. But first, I want to direct your attention to the right to 2 North Riverside Plaza. Originally, the Chicago Daily News building is one of the first skyscrapers in the world to include an open-air public plaza as part of its design, which also means it's the first building in Chicago to intentionally develop toward the river. It's another excellent example of Art Deco architecture. It's got those long vertical lines, it's got those deep inset windows, and it's got that geometric ornamentation. The side of the building facing us, though, also features bas-reliefs, or ornamental carvings, which highlight the history of journalism and provide a timeline of the written word from Egyptian hieroglyphs through the Gutenberg press. For our purposes, though, it also starts another timeline. And that's because this next section of the river is actually a pretty concise illustration of architectural trends in the States. Because if you because 2 North Riverside Plaza was completed in 1929, which is the same year that the stock market crashed, sending us into the Great Depression. Follow that up with World War II, and it'd be about 25 years before new buildings started going up again. And by the time they did, tastes had changed. Because when you compare the opulence of the 1920s to the austerity of the Depression at wartime, it's easy to see how new generation designers might want to move away from excess ornamentation. So each of the products here, even sectors 1 and 2, these black box buildings that are right between the 1965 and 1967 respectively, are excellent examples of that black box process. They are stark and dark, simple and efficient, and like many modernist styles of architecture, they emphasize function over form. These are not meant to be beautiful, these are meant to be functional. Now, this is a style that was popularized by Ludwig Mies van der Rohe, but these two were actually designed by the firms Skidmore, Owings, and Merrill. Their perceived habit at the time of imitating Mies's work here and other places in the city saw Frank Lloyd Wright refer to the firm as the Three Blind Thieves, which is a little heavy, but it's a pretty solid burn. Frank Lloyd Wright, by the way, was a contemporary of Mies van der Rohe. We unfortunately won't see any of his work on the river, but if you are dead set on seeing Frank Lloyd Wright's work in person, you could take the Green Line out to Oak Park to do so. Now, moving past the black boxes of Gateway Centers 1 and 2, we approach the white box that is Gateway Center 3, also on the right. Completed in 1971, Gateway Center 3 is designed in a style called International Style, another modern style of representation. So called because buildings like this could be and have been built in cities all over the world without looking out of place. By cladding the building in stone, it softens the look of it somewhat compared to the stark black boxes. And it also makes it more efficient to heat and cool, since it doesn't have the exposed heat-absorbing inside the building. And as we approach the final take on the timeline portion of the tour, we get behind the modern styles of the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and we get an early example of contextualism in Gateway Center 4, the curved glass building up ahead on the right. The curved edge color of Gateway Center 4, fitted in 1983, mirrors the curved edge color of the Chicago building. And each pane of glass has a slight bulge in the center, which affects the overall effect of reflections on the rippled surface of water. All of these design elements put it in strong relationship with the Chicago River down below. Now, if you're curious about